long as I got you.
Hello, happy peoples. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. It's a bit of a brisker day. Start to the day. 10 below right now. It's like 10 degrees. No, 10 below zero. But not too bad actually for this time of year. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Okay, fill you in on all the things. I know our vlogs have not been super consistent. I've been a slacker. I've just really been trying to get my life together. Let's be honest. That's what I've been trying to do, is really just try to get organized and schedules and getting stuff actually done during the day. So it's my fault, my bad. We thought we would sit down with you and maybe do like a quick update, I actually got an idea from one of my Instagram followers. Saw your message come across, and great idea was to sit down and kind of recap what our life has been like after we have adopted Olivia. Our perspective, the kids' perspective, because it's been a whirlwind. It has literally been a whirlwind, and some really, really good, and some like, ooh, oh yeah, things like that. We'll do that later on this evening. I'm getting ready to run into town. I've got to go take Evelyn to gym. You guys know that she has been struggling on a particular skill that she kind of had a bad accident. I'll kind of tell you, she was working on the flyaway, so it's where you dismount off the high bar, and she actually pulled in too tight on that high bar, and her shins hit the top bar, so she like went up and hit the bar and then fell on her face. I mean, it was a decent fall, and she's never really experienced that, and so it kind of took her a minute to regain the confidence and to be comfortable to throw that skill again. So it's kind of put a little in her competition season, but just this past Tuesday, she was actually able to at least go off the bar with a spot. That's huge. That is huge because it was the mental block of not being able to do it. So anyway, she's going to go attempt that today again. Maybe I'll show you a little bit if I'm able to catch her doing it. We're just kind of hitting the ground running, all the things. Oh my goodness. Don't forget, guys, I wanted to mention it early in the vlog, that our up and coming Alaskan apparel sale is this next Saturday. So not this Saturday, but next Saturday, February 18th, 12 p.m. Alaska Standard Time. All the things, a lot of our pieces, a lot of our like really old pieces, like stuff that we've released seasons ago, are coming back available. One being this little number, and I'm gonna be like big discounts, like not just like little guys, but like I want you guys to be able to have the opportunity to get these pieces. So the cowl neck, all the things, lots of different colors. There are gonna be limited sizes on things, so I apologize for that. But yes, hopefully you guys will love it. Set your alarms, all the calendars, the things. Follow us on Instagram, and you can keep up to date. I've been putting little things of like close-ups of the products that we're getting ready to release, things like that. So anyway, I am freezing. These are gone. Can't feel them anymore. I think that's it. I'm gonna be doing some running around in town as well. I've got bags and stuff I'm working on. There's a lot. You see, trying to get the life together. It feels chaotic, but I'm getting there. We're making headway. All right, let's head on into town. Alright guys, made it back home.
Hello for the first time today.
This is the first time you've been on the vlog?
Yeah.
You see guys, we're not on our game. I was telling him that we were not on our game this morning.
We're on our game.
This is the first. Okay. Did you see Evelyn attempt her little flyaway? She's at least getting it with the spot. She has a meet this weekend. I'm really hoping that she'll be able to do it. Just
She's gonna pull through.
She might pull through. Because I told you this morning we wanted to tell you maybe how life has changed. Obviously, we don't vlog anymore.
It's interesting how your priorities shift.
It's been an adjustment.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like when you get pregnant, you're Catherine needs to go outside.
Catherine needs to go outside. Evelyn, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Well, you have a dog and a baby.
Thank you. Happy Peoples, as I mentioned this morning, said that we should do like an update, like what's going on, how are things going with all the things of our life being in a complete change. Drastic. Oh, you were saying 9 months.
Yeah. Okay.
9 months. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So typically, like you get pregnant, you're like, oh my gosh, all these things, and you're like trying to figure out life, and then you get all the little ultrasounds, and then like you have all this time, right? You have like 9 months to adjust, and then you have a baby, and then like Livy's 4 months right now.
Yep.
So like we would have had more time, but literally 4 months ago, we just had a baby.
Right.
So there wasn't a
preparation time.
Prep and like you were going to Walmart and grabbing whatever we could to get her to.
Yeah.
It's worked, but it's just been. It's like hitting the ground running full throttle.
And I've been so surprised as to how many stories are like that from even our little community of happy peoples of like, oh yeah, we were told 12 hours beforehand. Oh, we were told 2 hours or a day and a half before, and I'm like.
What?
Yeah,
Well, maybe you sign up for like a list or something, and you're just.
Yeah, and maybe already in their brains they had it already like set, but like it's super fast.
Adjustments. All the things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe we should start like from like when we walked out of the courtroom. Some of the things that have happened. Should we do that?
Sure.
Okay. Well, first of all, I mean, backing up, and maybe you guys we could link the video to when we found out and all the things up above. But I will tell you though, if you do want to adopt, because you had a friend just called you and was like, hey, and this is the other thing too, like when you adopt, now everyone like are reaching out to you asking, like, hey, how'd you do this? Which makes sense because that's what we did.
What were everything? Yeah.
Jacob Lincoln immediately, Jacob McCarris, awesome people. And I'm like, Jacob, what do I do? He goes, well, you got to get a lawyer. I'm like, I need a lawyer? I thought I'd just take the form and I just he's like, oh, no, you need a lawyer. Because there's so much you don't know, right?
Yep.
Now, and ours, of course, is the state of Alaska, which is probably different than other states, right? Everyone has like their own little laws and rules and things.
Yep.
But fast forward, we got our lawyer, did all the things. You guys saw when we were at the court. They gave us this decree and this legal document that where her name changes. So now she's officially a Summers. She's officially Olivia Summers. And which is crazy, right? So then that happens.
Yep.
And then we're able to get a birth certificate, right?
Yep.
And when they give you a birth certificate,
which we just recently got.
Like it's a whole new birth certificate. Like it looks like we're legit the biological parents.
Which was totally crazy to me. I did not know a birth certificate would actually look like that.
Is that to get a social security number, right?
Which I'm in the process of doing.
We were able, just so you're aware, to just use the court decree documents to go turn into Christian Healthcare Ministries to be able to put her on our health insurance, our health co-op that we have.
Yeah.
So,
which was cool.
So that's good.
At least she's all covered and good to go.
Sort of legal jargon.
Stuff.
The biggest thing is like I don't know about you, but I don't know, like the shock hasn't fully wore off.
I don't know if it has either.
Like I
don't know if that's good or bad. It does. I think this is the first time since, for me, probably August, that I've had a little bit of a downtime where it's not been so full throttle with life.
Well, September, right? We brought her home in September.
No, for me, August.
Oh, just in life, generally, okay.
Yeah, just life stuff. Just life stuff that has been busy. So this is like the first time where we've kind of like, okay.
But you know us, like usually we're not sitting down talking to you like we are right now. It's normally like, hey guys, here we go. Whoa! So this feels even, odd just sitting here talking to you guys, taking time to do it. But maybe I'll ask you this question. Do you feel like her mom?
I do. It's funny, I look at her and I like see my other kids. That's what's really odd to me. Or myself. Like I'll look at her and I'll be like, oh my goodness, like I can see, I don't know you. I think some days I feel like I still think about like, oh, well, birth mom, birth family, different things like that. And that kind of creeps in, but it's not in a negative connotation. It's just like, oh, you know, she's different.
Well, the way I look at it is she basically, she's ours, but like she comes with extra family.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I don't know, it's just, it's like, it's different than our other kids. But I see my other kids and myself and you in her, which is very crazy. Even some of you guys have said that she looks like she's like one of us, like part of our family. The little squinty eyes, the little fair complexion. I think she even might have a tinge of red hair. Her eyes are still blue. I've never had a blue-eyed child. I have a blue...
You're the only one with blue eyes.
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
the only
family,
one with
so
blue eyes.
You could have a matcher.
Yeah, a little matcher. Pretty
Oh,
stinking cool.
side note too, right after, like the next day, your uncle calls you, who does genealogy for your family. And
on my dad's side.
plugs her in
Yeah,
on your
like,
family tree.
He's like, I need all of the information for Olivia. Like, where she was born, what time she was born, different things that you would pop into a genealogy thing. I'm like, okay. So I'm typing it all out. So
And that's
she's all
crazy too.
inputted.
You think about it, you know, when you adopt someone, you're it's like they're leaving one family tree and going into another, like being grafted into another.
But
That
still
is so
kinda
cool.
has-
Yeah, but there's still some ties, of
Right,
course, you
right.
know. But it's fascinating
It's
how
crazy.
it works.
It's really, really neat.
So you do feel like her mom.
I do. Because I feel, you know, like, I mean, I have
Did
to
you
take care of her.
instantly feel like her mom,
No.
or did it take you a little bit of spool
It
up
took
time?
a little bit of time, I think. And I think it was probably the nuance of it, or like not having any time of preparation of like, okay, I'm going to be getting a baby,
Yeah.
preparing my heart for it,
Preparing your heart
things like
for it.
that. Share this with you guys. I don't know necessarily why I didn't want it to seem like, I had a like, ooh, I don't know if I wanted to discuss this. I didn't know if I want to talk about it, but.
Well, and to be fair, guys, just in general, if we don't feel comfortable sharing something with you, we're
Yeah.
going to wait until the right timing.
Till the right timing, yeah. Maybe, yeah. It just didn't feel right. And I was like, no, I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to share about it. Yeah. Okay, about 3 weeks or so beforehand,
What a
I
story.
actually ended up becoming pregnant. Like I actually took a test and everything like that, and it actually popped positive. And I was like, oh my goodness gracious. 3 weeks before all of this happened. And sadly, I ended up not being able to keep that baby. It was very, very early on.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, like
6 weeks, probably.
Something like that,
Probably
yeah.
about 6 weeks or so. And I had one before I had Audrey. I miscarried, and I've had a miscarriage before. I had one before Audrey. And so I kind of knew what was happening and things like that. And I was just like, I don't know, it was so like we've never had like oh my goodness, I can't believe this. Literally 3 weeks later, this happens. And I was just, I'm wondering if it wasn't a preparation of God looking at my heart, seeing my response, the dynamic on what that looked like, and then.
right.
I don't know.
It's obviously been adjustment, and we've taken time, and we didn't want to talk about it, but there you go. Like
And processed it, and I don't know. Everything happens for a reason.
right.
And I don't want God's miracle, in a sense, of how everything transpired or the way that his plan was working without giving maybe more of the puzzle pieces. Because it really just adds a different component of like, oh my goodness gracious, I can't believe this happened.
And there's several other things too that we probably won't talk about just out of privacy, but there's so many little miracle things that lined up to be able to make this happen.
Unbelievable.
It doesn't even make sense. But and also, like I said before, you know, every child is a miracle, right? And a gift from God. And the way we look at it is Livy just came from a different direction, but still the same miracle. When you think about it, every one of us, none of us asked to be born, and none of us had a choice that we're born. But we're born. We also didn't have a choice like where we're born, what country we're born, what race we're born, what type of family dynamics, what type of, you know, were you born to a rich family or a poor family? What type of, you know, religious, like there's so much of background that you don't have a choice for. It's crazy when you adopt and you bring a little baby, like she didn't have any choices either. So she's really not any different than any of us. It's just a little bit of a different, like I said, just a different way that she came to us. Another miraculous journey. For us, it's been, I don't know, I feel like her dad, straight up. And I think you feel like your mom.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's taken you a little bit, like you said, to
I think it took me a little bit longer, and I think maybe it's because it was so different than the way I've become a mom before.
Yep.
Where I've had this baby inside me for 9 months, and I can feel it kick, and I go through that labor, delivery, the struggle of what that is, and then you've waited so long.
Right.
And it is here. So it's just a different way. So I think it's just been, to be honest, a little bit maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm different than other adoptive moms, but if you're an adoptive mom and you don't feel that instant, like, I'm mom.
Leave a comment down below. Let us know, like, if you were, like it was, did you instantly feel like mom, or did it take you a little bit?
A little bit to get used to. Learning.
On that note, I want to thank you guys, because we've asked you guys for advice and information, and you guys have given it. It is like this whole community of people that are adopted or know people that are adopted.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So like one thing we took away is we asked one of you guys, like, what are some things that we should watch for? And one of you guys said that like when you grew up, that other people would say, they found out you're adopted, they'd say, oh wow, you're so lucky. And that bothered her. And she said, like, your parents never said that. It was just other people they'd found out. I'm like, oh, you're so lucky. So now I'm like, he's sensitive to it. And then like a friend of mine, I was telling him, he goes, that's the luckiest baby ever. And then my response is, I'm the lucky one. We're the lucky ones. And he's like, oh, well, you guys are both lucky. I never thought about that, right? Like, oh, you're lucky. Like somehow, you know, you weren't a part, and you were just lucky enough to be part of that family.
Right.
So anyway, I just want to know, we've read your comments. We appreciate all the wisdom you guys have shared, which is huge. Let me go ask the kids and see what they think, just being, because, you know, change the family, right? All these things. So let's see if I can throw them on the spot and see what they think.
See what they think about old Liv Biv.
Does she feel like your sister?
Yes.
Has anything changed since we brought her home in your life?
Yeah.
What? What's changed?
Little bit more stuff. I don't know. Yeah, a lot more movement. A lot.
A lot more movement.
Things are a lot busier.
Glad she's here and part of the family.
Yes.
She looks at you and laughs. She thinks you're the coolest person ever. You got the first laugh out of her, didn't you?
Yeah, I had the first laugh out of her.
She feel like your baby sister?
I think so. I think once she gets older, though, it'll be more so.
Do you feel like you're connected, like you're pretty close to her?
I mean, we've only had her for 4 months, so.
That's true. She always laughs when she looks at you. I think she looks at you and she's like, that's my big sister.
Oh my.
Question for you.
Yeah.
What's it like having Olivia here?
It's awesome, amazing, stressful, tiring.
Wow.
Great.
That was a lot of information. Does she feel like your sister?
Yes, definitely.
And so there's a lot more work that you maybe thought, huh?
I mean, I knew there was going to be a lot of hard work, but I think that hard work is worth it.
And you, like, what is hard work? Define hard work with Livy.
Well, changing the baby's diapers, that's really rough. And feeding her the bottles, I mean, that's not too bad. But when she just gets cranky and she cries all the time, it's just like,
yeah.
Can you please stop crying, please?
But she does feel like your sister, and she does feel like a part of the family.
Oh, yes. Definitely.
It's interesting what they share, and then like Evelyn adores Livy. Like the first thing she does, she wakes up to go find Livy, and Livy gives her the biggest smile.
Yeah.
And I never thought that with Evelyn. She's more of like a dog person. Like I didn't think she liked kids.
As opposed to like human interaction.
Yeah, but she really connects with her, but she's kind of like too cool to, there's a little bit of that. But like Audrey and Evelyn are both changing diapers, and they're both doing bottles.
It's been a great experience for them. And it's been kind of weird for me because I'd never had that. I never had like older kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like I guess Audrey was 8 when Garrett was born.
Yeah.
But I never had like full-on helpers. And I tell people, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm kind of cheating a little bit because they're always like, oh, well, I'll hold her. Oh, well, I'll feed her. Oh, I can take her. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Super valuable.
It's just a different dynamic, which has been actually really cool. I think it will help.
You're the oldest of 5.
I am.
So you got a lot of training.
I did.
I'm the oldest of 6. Like, we've literally changed probably tens of thousands of diapers
Oh, yeah.
between
Well,
us.
the difference between like me and my sister is 15 years.
Right.
Right? 15 years, and then 18 years between the next one, and then 20 years between the last one. So I was very old when my parents were done having kids. Same mom and dad, just to clarify, just a little bit separate.
So what about day to day? Like having Livy here?
Day to day, it's been an adjustment, 100%. It hasn't been all sunshines and rainbows, but she really is such a great little baby. Like
Happiest baby.
Rarely cries. If she gets overtired, she kind of doesn't do very well. She likes her sleep, and we're still trying to figure that out. She still wakes up in the middle of the night, as per normal, but goes right back to sleep. Different having a bottle-fed baby.
Yeah.
That's been
Oh, yeah.
different.
Right.
But it's really super convenient because I don't have to be the one that feeds her all the time. But I kind of like that. I mean, I kind of miss that a little bit of not being able to have, that closeness.
It's a lot harder to just like hop in the car and go. Now you're bringing
100%.
diaper bags and reloading stuff. And
trying to get that back into the routine of like what I need to have.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time I shared with you guys, I completely forgot the diaper bag. But then from then on out, I kept a little emergency stash in the car.
Again, you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
We read your comments. We sure appreciate you.
We do.
A lot of wise people are on this channel.
Yeah.
Yes.
She just takes up time. She's a person. She's a little baby that needs baby attention. So that's been kind of an adjustment a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say, with you being able to be home more, because as you guys have seen, they've kind of seen all these little like important milestones.
You guys have been there for all
For
of
everything,
it.
pretty much everything. Is that when we sold GRS controls? There's no way that we would be able to be doing what we do now without you selling that and having more time. We're able to more split it as opposed to just
I guess that's probably
maybe
better.
me doing it.
Yeah.
So you're able to, because his time is freed up.
Yeah.
Which has been a very different, like our whole life has changed, to be honest.
Yep, it actually has.
Our whole life has changed if you looked at us 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Our life has completely changed.
Well, you guys been along for the roller coaster. It's selling businesses and starting businesses and
Building projects.
building
and
projects
just
and
different things.
great grandma and
Yeah.
getting a dog and having a baby and
But isn't
I
that
know.
life? That's just life.
I guess
like
that's
people
true.
just go through this ebb and flow of like the different. I'm like, what's happening next?
well, being flexible, I guess, where you can shift in each other's roles. That's probably the best way of putting it.
Yeah, we're able to do different, balance it differently.
But it is weird, when I'm used to going to over sequences of operation and engineering and stuff, and I'm like, all right, Garrett, let's sound this word out here. So there's a little bit of that. It's been good.
It's been good, I think. I think we still need to figure out a little bit more of a balance.
Yeah.
Scheduling.
Also, February in Alaska, so
It is.
there's
true.
that. We're gonna keep them forever. We should
Sorry.
probably wrap this up.
Okay.
Man.
Well, you weren't on the vlog at all.
Well,
So
that's okay. Well, now I'm on too much, so there you go.
people miss your little face. No.
If you don't like the light, is it too bright?
Look at how huge she looks in my arms.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Look at how big she looks.
Awake now? See, she always smiles every time she wakes up. Are you awake?
You awake now?
Why am I up?
Okay, we'll get back to sleep. Okay, you guys are awesome. You're amazing. We appreciate you guys coming along and being part of all these important milestones in our life. It is really an honor to be able to share our life with you. So with that, see you in the next video. See you, bye.
Away